Hey there Pokemon fans, Elite Trainer CJ here, and today's video I'm going to be going over what you should be looking for, hopefully on Monday, or sometime after the announcement for Monday, for Generation 2. So we're going to go over what's all in Generation 2, and what Pokemon you should start catching and saving up candies for, and what to look forward to hopefully, and my speculations of what's going to be happening, like how everything's going to work out. So anyways, starting off, we're going to go load through all 100 Pokemon that's going to be added for Generation 2. Starting off with our starters, we're going to go with Chikorita, the grass type. Actually, all of these are, I think, full, just straight up full grass, fire, and water type. So you got your Chikorita, then you got your Bayleaf and your Meganium. So all the starters are probably going to be just like how Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander did their evolutions. So 25 for those first evolutions, and then the second one is going to be 100. So that's why it just makes sense, since that's what we did with the starters for the first one. Any three-stage Pokemon, really. So then we go down and we go to our fire type, which is Cyndaquil, Quilava, and Typhlosion. So definitely looking forward to the fire starter, of course. But then is my favorite starter in this generation, which is Totodile, Crocodile. Then we got Feraligatr. And apparently, Feraligatr is going to be like the second strongest Gen 2 other than legendaries, right behind Tyranitar. So that's going to be pretty cool. Then we got basically like what your Rattatas are. So we got your Sentret and your Furret. And I have a feeling that Sentret's going to be like Rattatas, and they're going to spawn basically anywhere that you're at. Same thing goes for Hoot Hoot and Noctowl. It's going to be like your Pidgeys. So, be looking forward to those two, because actually Noctowl is not that bad of a Pokemon if you think about it. Like, of course he's flying in normal type, just like Pidgeotto and Pidgeot. But Noctowl is pretty good. It's only a one-stage evolution, so that and Furret's probably going to be the 25. I think it's 25. Just like Rattata is. So make sure to look forward to that. Then we got your Ladybug and Ladian, which is the Bud type. I think it's Bud Flying. I could be wrong. But really, Ladian's not that bad, since you can learn fighting moves and stuff like that. Of course, it's I think it's just Bud type, but I could be wrong. It could be the Bud Flying type. I don't remember off the top of my head. These are just screenshots of, what I've, looked at so far. So it's going to be another 25 to evolve that. Then we got your Spinarak and Ariados. And it's a Poison Bud type. I know that for sure. So those two Bud types are basically like your Caterpies and your Weedles, except for they're only two-stage evolutions. So they're both going to be probably about 25 candies each. Then we got Crobat, which is actually the third evolution for Zubat and Golbat. So I have a feeling that they're just going to make it 100 candies to get from Golbat to Crobat. So make sure you save your candies for Crobat. I am going to be going over a little bit more after this for going through which Pokemon are going to evolve into what, and their baby forms as well. Do a little bit more on that. So I'm just going over the Pokemon right now. Then we got Chinchou and Lantrum. And I have a feeling that's going to be 25 again, since it's two-stage. And then we got Pichu and Cleffa, both baby Pokemon. Not going to go over it too much. Same with Igglybuff. So we're going to be going over it a little bit after we go through the 100 Pokemon. Togepi and Togetic. I have a feeling that Togepi, you're going to be able to since there's coding in the game for baby Pokemon, I have a feeling that Togepi is going to be one of them baby Pokemon that you're going to be carrying around just like Misty did in the anime. Then we got Natu and Zatu, which are flying Psychic type, I believe. I know for sure it's Psychic type. I'm not sure on the flying type or not. I'm kind of positive it is, but could be wrong. Going to be another 25 for that. Then is one of my favorite Pokemon, really in Pokemon in general. My favorite electric type for sure. We got your Mareep, Flaffy, and Ampharos. Now, since it's 3 stages, it's going to be 25 to evolve the first one to Flaffy. And then from Flaffy to Ampharos is going to take 100 candies. And Ampharos is actually going to be pretty good. I did watch a couple of videos of like this, what they found out the CP values are. And Ampharos is actually pretty good. So when Gen 2 comes out, I'm definitely going to be looking for a Mareep nest, because I am definitely going to get my Ampharos as soon as possible. Then we got your Blossom, which is the split evolution of Vileplume. Then we got Marill and Azumarill, which is probably going to be another 25 candy evolution. Pure water type. And then we got Sudowoodo, who is a rock type. Senior evolution, so it's going to be, like your Tauros, your Genes, and all that from Gen 1, where it's not going to evolve, so make sure you just use the candies to, power it up. I don't know how good it's going to be. I don't remember what they said about it, but, I never really used Sudowoodo, but I think it could be pretty good. Then we have another split evolution, is Politoed, and that's the split evolution of Poliwrath. So make sure you save up candies for that. Another 100 most likely. Then we have our grass. I do believe it's grass flying type Hoppip, and then Skiploom and Jumpluff. And they're 3-stage evolution, so 25 candies and 100 candies, kind of like your Vileplume and all that. So then we have another single evolution, which is just one Pokemon, and it's Apom, because Apom gets his second evolution in Generation 4, so it's going to be a while till we get that in the game. And then we got Sunkern and Sunflora. Really, they're not that good of a Pokemon. I wouldn't waste too much time on them. Another 25 evolution. They're grass type, but they're in the same realm as Rattata in my eyes, so. Then we got Yanma, who gets second evolution, I do believe, in Generation 3. So we have a lot of single evolutions, and that get them later on in the Pokemon universe, in the generations. Then we got Wooper and Quagsire, so another 25 evolution. I do believe it's water ground type, so it's a pretty good typing actually. So only weak against ice. No, it's not even weak against ice. It's only 4 times weak against grass, so just don't have it fight any Vileplumes or anything like that. So then we got 2 new evolutions. We got Espeon and Umbreon, which is probably going to be another 25, unless they try to figure out how to do a buddy Pokemon where it makes it so you have a better chance of getting Espeon or Umbreon, depending on what time of day it is. It went by friendship in the Pokemon games, so Umbreon and Espeon, if you had, like Espeon during the day, if you had your friendship and you leveled it up, you return it to Espeon, and then Umbreon would be for nighttime. Murkrow is only 1-stage evolution, so it doesn't have an evolution in this one, but it does get one, I do believe, in Gen 4 as well. But we got Slowking, which is another split evolution, so make sure to be saving up your candies for that as well. I do believe it's 50, so actually, a lot of the 2 stages probably 50. More of your common Pokemon like Rattata and that are 25, so I could be wrong on some of the candies, so I'm sorry if you're gonna disagree. Make sure to, conversate with me in the comments section and let me know what you think for the 2-stage evolutions, which ones are going to be 25 or which ones are going to be 50. Then we got Misdreavus, who gets an evolution later on in the games. I do not remember off the top of my head, but it's only one stage. Then we got Unknown, who isn't that good anyways. Then we got Wobbuffet, who ends up getting a pre-evolution in the later games. Girafarig, another single. Girafarig I actually kind of like though. It's pure normal type, but it can learn pretty good moves. Then we got a 2-stage, which is probably going to be 50. Pineco and Fortress, because Fortress is pretty good. I've never used it before, but I do believe it's Bud Grass type, if I'm correct. Then we got another 1-stage, which is just Dunsparce, and Gligar, which is 1 as well, but it does get an evolution later on in the game. Then we got your Steelix, so make sure you save up your Onyx candies. We got Snubbull and Gramble, so probably another 50. And they actually, later on in the games, when Gen 6 came out, they earned the Fairy type, so it's normal Fairy, I do believe. And then we got another single, which is Quillfish, I do believe it's Poison Water type. Then we got Scizor, which is the second evolution of Scyther. Then we got Shuckle, another single. Heracross. Shuckle's a Bud and Rock type, so it's got some good moves right there. You can learn a good variety of moves. Super high defense, 230 if you see on there. Like, it's going to be a defensive wall, so it's going to be kind of like your Snorlax, where it's just can take hits, hit after hit, but it's not going to have good attacks. So Heracross, which is Bud Fighting type, one of my favorites in the generation. He's going to be really, really good. He's going to probably be like Tauros, where, single, where it doesn't get an evolution, but it's going to be strong. Especially since Tauros got that buff, which is great. You got Sneasel, who turns into, I think it's called Weasel. I'm not entirely sure. Do not take my word on that, but it turns into a second evolution, which is pretty cool. But that's, do believe, 4th generation as well. But it is Dark and Ice type, I do believe, or it's just Dark type in this game. Because I do believe it gets the Ice typing in 4th generation. But then we got Teddiursa and Ursaring, probably going to be another 50. Ursaring's really strong. If you can see, it's an attacking force, so kind of like grizzly bears out in the wild, they're known to attack viciously. So then we got Slugma and Magcardo, which is a pure fire type, I do believe. So probably another 50 right there. Then we got Swinub and Piloswine, who gains a 3rd evolution in the 4th generation. So it's going to be, it's either going to be 25 or 50, because since Gen 4 has the evolution, it's probably going to be 25, but don't take my word on that. It could be 50. And then we got Corsola, who's not that good of a water type anyways. Then we got Remoraid and Artillery, who are actually going to get high CP in Generation 2 when it comes out. It's predicted you get right around 2600 as its max, so it's in the top 5, I do believe, for Generation 2 Pokemon. Pure water type. I've never used Artillery before, but it's supposedly pretty good. So then we got Delibird, who's a pure ice type, I do believe. Ice Flying maybe, but I do believe it's just ice. Wasn't very useful in the Pokemon games in my eyes. I never used him. Then we got Mantine, who's single in this one. Gains a 2nd evolution in, I do believe, 4th gen as well. Then we got Skarmory, who's Flying Steel type. Another single. Doesn't get an evolution. At least yet. Maybe Gen 8. I don't know. Maybe someday. Then we got Houndour and Houndoom, the Fire Dark type. Another good one that's going to be in the top, I do believe, at least the top 10 maybe for CP wise for Generation 2. Then we got Kingdra, who's the 3rd evolution for Horsey and Seadra. And I'll be going over that in just a minute. And then we got Fanfi and Donphan, who I believe is normal ground type. I could be wrong, it could just be ground type. I've never used Donphan, but I mean, looking at its stats, it looks pretty good to me. High attack, high defense, so it can dish out attacks as well as it can take hits. So then we got Porygon 2, which is the second evolution of Porygon. There's also Porygon Z, but that's not till 4th gen. Porygon's another one that's going to get buffed massively when it evolves in Gen 2. And I'm hoping that when it comes out Monday, like, it's going to take about 50 candies to get Porygon 2. But then we got Stantler, another single. And then Smeargle, another single as well. A lot of singles in Generation 2. A lot more than the first games, in first gen. Then we got Tyro, the pre-evolution. That can turn into Hitmontop, Hitmonlee, or Hitmonchan. And as you see, Hitmontop right there. Both of them pure fighting type. It's probably going to take about 50 to get to Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, or Hitmontop. It's probably going to go by, like, when you do your IV check. When you appraise it, it's probably going to say it's either high attack or high defense, depending on if you want Hitmonlee on Hitmonchan. And then if it says it has good attack and defense, it's going to be Hitmontop. Because you have to have them both balanced out if you wanted to get Hitmontop. So hopefully they take that into consideration when they introduce Gen 2. Then we have a pre-evolution of Smoochum. I do believe it's just an ice type and gains the psychic type for when it gets to Genes. Got Elekid, which is the first stage of Electrike. I do believe. For some reason, this is not coming to me. But it's Electrike, yeah, I got it right. But then we got Madbee, who's the first evolution of Magmar, so. Then we got Miltank, a single evolution. A second evolution of Chansey, which is Blissey, who is, oh my gosh, like that health though. Chansey got a big buff in Pokemon Go, and Blissey's just trying to make it even worse to try to take you down in gyms. Then we got your legendaries. We got Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. Raikou is an electric type, Entei is a fire type, and Suicune is the water type. Those won't be coming out until events, so I don't know what they're going to do with legendaries, but we'll find out. I do know they said that it takes a good amount of planning and a good amount of time to get the legendaries to come out, because it's a big deal and they're trying to make it fair for everyone to get it. So then we got our pseudo legendary, which is basically like our Dragonite, Tyranitar, who's actually supposed to be 100 CP higher than Dragonite. So it's going to be the strongest Pokemon other than legendaries in Pokemon Go. And so we got Larvitar, Pupitar, and Tyranitar. So it's dark ground type. So it's going to be really, really strong. And then we got our two legendary birds. Both of them flying. But Lugia's flying psychic, and then Ho-Oh is fire flying. And, of course, those won't be coming out until, until the legendaries start coming out, so. And also Celebi, which is basically the Mew of this generation, because Mew and Celebi both have all their stats at 100, so it's just like whenever legendaries come out, there's going to be a good amount of legendaries. So there's at least 6 in this generation of legendaries, and there's 5 in generation 1, so there's 11 overall. So there could be 11 different events, so they're all going to take time, so everybody's got to stay patient with that. Alright, so one going from Zubat to Golbat to Crobat. They're all poison flying type. It's probably going to take 25 to get to Golbat. I think it was 50, but it might go down to 25. It just makes sense because that's what three-stage evolutions do. So they might change it once Generation 2 comes out. And Crobat would probably take 100 candies to get to. So Make sure to save up your Zubat candies. We have this weekend to do it, so make sure you get on that. Then we got Pichu, which is the pre-evolution, and of course we already have Pikachu and Raichu. So Pichu, now they do have genders in the coding for Pokemon Go, so they could have where you can breed 2 Raichus or 2 Pikachus and get a Pichu out of it. But for now, we don't know what's going to go on with the baby Pokemon. They could just be handed to us. We could get like a 1 kilometer age where we can get them, but we won't know until it comes out. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. We also got Cleffa, which is the pre-evolution of Clefairy and Clefable. Pure Fairy type. I do believe it's just Fairy type, but before it used to be just normal type. But again, baby Pokemon, so we're gonna have to be patient and find out what's going on with that. Same with Igglybuff, normal Fairy type, and moving on, so baby Pokemon, we're not going to go over too much because we don't know too much information on it yet. But anyways, Oddish to Gloom, of course, is 25. And then the Vileplume is 100. And it's probably going to be the same with Blossom. So you're probably going to get a chance of getting one or the other unless it goes by the gender, which I don't think it will. Because either one could be either Pokemon. So you'll probably have that 50-50 chance, kind of like when Eevee turns into Vaporeon, Jolteon, or Flareon. You have just that chance of getting one. So make sure to stock up a lot of candies for Oddish because we don't know what's going to go on. So we don't know how that second, third stage evolution is going to work out since it's split. So it's probably going to be a 50-50 chance. So make sure to save up a couple hundred candies then. Same with Politoed, because it just turns into a pure water type instead of the water fighting that Poliwrath is. Again, make sure you save up a couple hundred just in case it's that 50-50 chance. You could still have a chance of getting Poliwrath, but you also have that 50% chance of getting Politoed, so make sure you save candies for that. And then comes our Eevees. Now, I've been hearing that we're going to be watching our Pokemon, which I don't think's going to happen. It's probably just going to be the game of chance, since they didn't do any stones in Pokemon Go. So it's probably just going to be a 1 out of 5 chance to get one of the 5 evolutions of Eevee. So, Psychic and Dark type, Psychic is weak against Dark. I do believe Dark is weak against Psychic as well. I could be wrong on that. I don't remember off the top of my head. But make sure to save up those 25 candies just in case it's that 1 out of 5 chances. And then we got Slowpoke. You can turn into Slowbro or Slowking. Another split evolution. So it takes 50 candies to get to Slowbro. So make sure to save up those candies just in case it's those 50-50 chances. So, and then we got Onix the Steelix, which is probably going to be 50 candies. Gains that Steel type and loses that Rock type. So it does get a good amount of coverage once it evolves. Make sure to save up candies for that. I'm pretty close on that, I believe. Then we also got Scyther the Scizor. Loses the Flying type and gains the Steel typing, so that means it's 4 times weak against Fire. So make sure you don't have it go against Flareons, Charizards, stuff like that that are Fire type. Probably going to be another 50. And then Horsey, the Seadra, and Kingdra. So it's probably going to be 25 to get from Horsey to Seadra, and then 100 to get from Seadra to Kingdra. So make sure you start saving candies. I'm almost at 50, I do believe, for the Horsey candies. So working on it. So Porygon to Porygon 2 is probably going to take 50 candies, of course. So make sure you just try to hatch some Porygons. It's probably the best chance you have. I caught a Porygon actually this last week before recording. I think I just had pure luck, basically. It showed up on the sightings list for being close to a Pokestop, so I ran over there and got it, and that was very beneficial. So then we got your Tyrode, and again, like I said, it probably depends on how good its IVs are for the attack and the defending stats. So just keep an eye out on that. We do not know how it's gonna work out. So then we got Smoochum to Jane, so another baby Pokemon. So we don't know how that's gonna work out either. So just keep an eye out for that. Same with Elected, because Electivire doesn't come out to Gen 4, so another baby Pokemon. We don't know much about that yet, so just keep an eye out for that. Same with Madbee to Madmar. Same with Happiny to Chansey, but it also just the second evolution of Blissey, so it's probably going to take, it's probably going to be 25 candies to get from Happiny to Chansey, and then 100 to get from Chansey to Blissey. So maybe Chanseys would be more common, since, it's a 3-stage evolution in Generation 2, so anyways, that's about all that we're going to go over today. I do believe tomorrow, when I start playing Pokemon Go again, hopefully it's not snowing too bad. I'm going to be dressing warm, hopefully, to get some recording in for you guys. But anyways, make sure to stay tuned to my channel for any news. Make sure to stay tuned on Monday on social media to watch out and see what Niantic is going to announce for what Pokemon are coming to Pokemon Go. I have heard that shinies are in the coding, so keep an eye out for that. And this is Elite Trainer CJ. I'm going to sign out now, but I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.